Hey everyone, it's Money Karl from Move the Mic Stand podcast. Today I'm here to tell you what the buzz is all about for today's episode sponsor, The Hive. The Hive is Fond du Lac's premier bar and entertainment venue. They have a top-notch selection of adult beverages as well as an extensive non-alcoholic menu. Their activities calendar is always jam-packed with activities for you to do, such as extreme bingo, trivia, watching the big game, catching a band, or even coming to see our comedy showcase called Live from the Hive, hosted by Dean Berg and yours truly, on November 29th for some entertainment after you're all done shopping for Black Friday. You can get tickets now on cashmoneycomedy.com. Additionally, the Hive offers private party rooms available for booking at exceptionally affordable rates for events such as bridal showers, birthday parties, corporate events, and so much more. Check out the Hive at thehivefdl.com or by clicking the link in the episode description. Now, enjoy the show.
Tapedeck Media.
We're moving the mic stand, it's time for some laughs. We're gaining cash, we're breaking the past. Jokes are our currency, laughter's the aim. Tune in with us, let's play our game. Come on and gather, it's a wild ride. Move the mic stand, we're ready to go. Dean and Cash bring the comedy flow. With every tale, we're spreading joy wide. So come take a seat, join the fun ride.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Move the Mic Stand podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Money Karl, along with me, my buddy,
Dean Berg.
Yeah, so another week, another episode.
Yeah.
I think we should just get started right away with our comedy tip of the week.
Oh, you got one? Got one
Yeah.
ready? Want one in the
Yeah,
bank? Let's
yeah,
go.
I got
All right,
one
let's
in
do
the
it.
bank right now.
Let's
Of course
do
I got it in the bank.
Do it.
I think we should talk about just writing material and how we come up with jokes.
Okay.
Because, last week we talked about, how to actually get started. Or no, we talked about 2 weeks before how to get started doing stand-up, right? Or going to open mics and stuff. And then last week we talked about recording every set. But maybe we should take a step back and be like, well, you can't record a set if you don't have any material.
Right, because we have seen instances where people go up.
Yeah, just a couple of weeks ago we saw that.
Yeah, and they go up and they don't really have anything written.
And they just wanted to try it, whether it was like a dare or whatever.
Yeah.
And not even a single joke. They went up there and then they go immediately, well, what should I talk about?
Yeah, like I didn't really write anything. And then I don't know if they were looking for crowd work or what, but
Yeah, they had nothing.
I've seen that happen a couple of times where
And that was actually a crazy experience too, because they got clapped off before their time was done.
right, and I haven't seen that
Ever. happen.
where
At
there's,
least
like-
for an
well,
I've seen.
I mean, I've seen it where somebody,
Gets yanked.
does one
Right.
of the unholies and they get their mic cut off.
Right, but
like an unholy is something blatantly racist or just
awful that people are
awful things.
poorly
you sh-
reacting to it just because it is awful or
And
whatever.
you shouldn't say those things on stage.
Right.
Yeah.
Or in private either, I guess.
Yeah, or in private. They're just not good things to say.
Right. So
And I'm sure you guys at home can figure that out.
yeah. So just writing material in general, maybe I guess talking about where ideas come from and the process that we take to start getting a joke to turn into a joke, I guess, an idea or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I always carry my phone around. I usually write my material in my phone
Me too.
because it's something I always have on me. I used to carry a notebook around and a pen, but
Same.
I can't read my own handwriting.
No, that's
so-
what happens to me too.
so-
I'll write something down and I'll either won't put enough detail
Right.
and I'll be like, underwear French fry attack. What the hell was that?
Yeah. Where were you going with it?
Yeah, like what? What was that? Did I see that in a movie? Did I actually witness that? What?
And then it gets lost forever because you're like, I can't remember what it was about.
Right. And I always think I will. I'll be like, oh, that'll help me remember. I'll remember that for sure. Nope.
Yeah. I guess maybe a rare time that I will still write in my notebook, though, is if I'm at a show.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't want my phone light to reflect or whatever and be a distraction.
Yeah.
But if you're in the back and you have it on low, nobody really can tell anyway. But
Yep.
yeah, typically that would be one of the rare cases that I actually use the notebook for. But back to writing in my phone, basically I'll just, if I have an actual full joke idea, I'll just write it down right away as soon as I think of it.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, sometimes I'm just writing lists of like topics that I want to take an adventure on and see what I can write towards it.
Yep.
Sometimes it's a punchline without any setup or anything to it. Just like, okay, this is like a funny ending. Let's see if I can do something with that. Could be other tags. Yeah, just I guess ideas in general. And then I like to go back to them at another time if I don't have something completely fleshed out.
Yeah, I do similar. Like a lot of what I actually come up with is when I'm just driving in my car. Like I'll be driving to somewhere in the morning or to a show or whatever. I'll usually have just finished an energy drink or something and it's starting to kick in.
And getting a little jumpy and jittery and energized.
Yeah, a little bit. And then all of a sudden, you know,
I'll brain's firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, and I'll actually, in my car, I'll send myself a text also, like by voice.
Yeah, I do that too, the voice to text.
And I'll just sometimes say like, work on a bit about XYZ, blah, 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 you know, and go from there. I had comedy writing books at one point in time, and there's all these little different worksheets in there and stuff that you can actually use, and they're good guides for people that just aren't even sure where to start. You know?
I mean, it's like the formula for writing a joke and all the different ways a joke can develop.
Yeah, and some of it tells you to take like something either popular or even everyday that somebody knows about, like a toaster, and then, you know, write down 3 things that are funny with a toaster or that could happen with a toaster, and then elaborate and that sort of thing. Some of my stuff is real. Some of it's just stuff that happened or twists on things that really happened or things I've said in conversation that I was like, oh, I should turn that into a bit. And then
I think those are personally like usually the funniest stuff that any comic has, when it's like something that you know for a fact it's like part of their life.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
like
I usually
tell.
I usually embellish it.
Of
you
course,
know, and whatever, and then some things are just completely made up. I mean, there's events, people, things, whatever that I talk about in my sets that don't exist.
Yeah, it's so weird when you get people coming up after like a performance and they're like, "Oh, congratulations on getting married or having a kid or whatever," and be like, "I don't have any kids or whatever."
Right.
And it's like, but you said, well, not everything I said up there is true.
Right. And then I think that's where, you know, like with that, we have that creative advantage too, you know, where if somebody is upset about something, you know, that's not one of the unholies, obviously, or something like that, like, I can't believe you said that about this person. And then you're like, well, that person doesn't exist. So I said it about nothing. And then they're like, oh, I see, you know, or whatever. So it doesn't even have to be real. I mean, sometimes people think everything has to be real. And, you know, at the end of the day, we're entertainers. It's jokes.
Right.
Not everything is real. It's just funny.
Yeah, I mean, I'll put myself on the line here with talking about a joke that people think is real all the time. That's one of my favorite jokes that I tell.
Is it that you don't really ever play mini golf ever?
No, that's not it.
Oh, because that's not true. He does all the time.
Oh, all the time.
I went mini
Way too
golfing
much.
with him one time, and he went the day before. And
Writing down all the
and
notes.
he's drawing maps and contours and, like, you know those contour maps you draw in grade school with all the circles to show like how tall something. He's got those in there, and he's got like 3D models drawn up. It's here's the path to take.
And they were pretty much right for the most part, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that was good. That made me feel pretty good about it.
That
It's
was
just the execution on whether you can commit to doing that. But
yeah. So anyway, sorry.
but back to it. So like one of my favorite jokes that was one of my very first ones that I felt like really hit with an audience is this joke about sitting next to a person that dies on an airplane.
Right.
Nobody's ever died next to me on an airplane that I know of. But I did experience someone having a heart attack on an airplane, and it made me wonder
What would happen?
what would have happened if they had passed.
They had died.
So then getting that concept or idea and then researching and trying to find out, you know, what happens on a plane, and, you know, did that, and I had my original joke for that. But then recently I talked to somebody, and they did have that experience happen, and it was on a different airline. So they explained what happened in that situation for that airline, and then I researched, okay, what happens internationally on different airlines and how they handle that. And you know, it just kept expanding. So now a joke that's like a 2-minute joke is now like a 5-minute joke
Yep.
from adding all that extra stuff to it. But again, didn't really happen. But it people all the time like, I can't believe someone died next to you on an airplane, and
Right.
it's just kind of like,
I know. I didn't realize that wasn't true.
yeah,
I don't think you've ever told me that.
yeah. So I mean, I make it come off where it feels really real, you know. So like that, I think is part of the sell, right?
Yeah.
And if you can do that for a joke, now that joke's never going to work ever again.
No, now I kind of feel like you're going to try to tell me Chewbacca's not real in Star Wars.
No, he's real.
Okay, good.
I saw him at Disney World.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, you're all right. But yeah, like now it's gonna for our 186 listeners that we have so far and growing.
It's more than that.
So far. But we'll get there. We're getting there. That's pretty good. We're just getting started too. I know you just wanted to be like, yeah, our
86,000
billion jillion. Yeah, I know, but see, that's us being truthful. Or maybe we weren't being truthful.
Maybe we weren't.
Yeah, maybe it's a whole lot more than that.
Maybe you better listen to find out.
Yeah. And join everybody else that's cool and wants to listen to Move the Mic Stand.
Yeah.
What about other like writing stuff for you?
I mean, that's kind of my process, really. When I get to a show, I'll kind of investigate the town that it's in, or
do
the
some
city
research,
that it's
yeah.
in, or whatever, and just kind of see like what, a little bit of history or something like that to see if there's anything I can elaborate on.
Yeah, because I do that too, trying to make it personal. Because as soon as
Yeah.
you have like that one thing that like is about whatever place, or if you know about like a random person that's like a town like mascot essentially or whatever,
Right.
then people are like, oh man, this guy knows what's up. And then it seems like they're more on your side.
One thing I can say that I never do when I write jokes is like if I say something funny in a conversation and somebody says, you should use that in your material. Or somebody will walk up to me and be like, you know what you should use in your material? XYZ. Or, that sort of thing. Or people will often say, oh, I bet you talk about the crazy place you work at during the day in your comedy. No, I don't.
Yeah,
Or,
I think there's some topics that, even though they're not necessarily bad, you just personally choose to avoid in general.
Yeah.
Like, I guess it's not necessarily bad to talk about work and a job, right? Because most people have a job. But at the same time, too, you're like, I don't have to deal with the potential repercussions of this joke if it doesn't go over well with somebody.
Well, it's not even that. It's just some of that stuff is just
people wouldn't get it too.
well,
Yeah,
and it's sidebar.
yeah.
Like it exists, but in a different universe, in a different world. It's not. I mean, maybe if something happened, I'd twist it into a story, but I'm not going to be like, yeah, so Jimmy from work, or whatever, he told me. I mean, the only time I've ever done that is when my older kids were really, really small, and I was kind of years ago first getting into it. And one of them said, hey, Dad, I made a joke you can tell. And then I was like, okay. And then, what is it? And then he told me the joke, and then I used it on stage. And I was like, hey, my 4-year-old wrote a joke, and I just did it just for shits and giggles. And they laughed at it, but that's because it was just didn't make any sense.
And because a 4-year-old said it.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's funnier than the adult comics on stage writing a joke. You're like, my 4-year-old did a better joke than you did.
Yeah. It was something like, what do pigs and worms have in common?
What do they have in common?
Mud. Oh, no, that wasn't it. No. It was, why did the worm roll around in the mud?
Why did the worm roll around in the mud, Dean?
Because he thought he was a pig. Or something like that. It was just kind of, it was along those lines.
Yeah.
Something about a worm and a
Hey,
pig
but that's
and mud.
pretty good thought process, though, for a 4-year-old
Yeah.
to make that connection, which I guess there's a lot of joke writing is connecting the dots of things that have something in common or common things that where the differences are, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to have a boss that used to always say, I bet you talk about your boss on stage a lot, blah, blah, blah. You're crazy boss, don't you? No, I don't. Ever.
Well, I have, but mine is more like a tribute from like good
You know what's
bosses.
crazy, though, is I've had a lot of bosses say that. I was referring to a very specific boss, not any that I have now. But if any of my bosses are actually listening, they're probably gonna be like, oh, he's talking about me. Oh, no. Nope, it's not you.
You can think it is, but
even
it's
on the
not.
podcast.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I've had jokes that I made as kind of like tributes to friends, family, coworkers that, you know, had big influence on me and they were really supportive of doing comedy.
Yep.
And stuff kind of happened, and then they're like, you know what, that might not be a bad idea. And then I was like, well, this is what I thought about it, and then turn it into a joke, and then they like it. So it's like they kind of sometimes feel honored. Mm-hmm. So if they don't like it, then I probably won't do it unless it's really, really funny.
Right. Have you, when you're working on your material or anything like that, have you had any like heroes or inspirations growing up, comedy or otherwise, that?
Yeah, I mean, definitely comedy-wise, like, I would say like my comedy hero was John Panette.
Okay.
So he's a bigger dude. I'm a bigger dude. You know, he had passed away. It's probably been close to about 10 years now. So
yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's been a while.
He hasn't been around. So, but listening to his specials that were recorded, I don't know, just something I connected with a lot. So if you don't know who John Panette is, one, you should look him up. And two, like probably his most well-known bit is going to the buffet and just all the challenges of going to the buffet. And like I feel like he's the OG buffet guy.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
Sometimes people, I guess, call him like clean Ralphie May too, in a way.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I don't know, just something about it. Like he was predominantly clean. I'm predominantly clean. Just the topics that he talked about, food and just being a bigger person and that kind of thing, just connected with me. So,
right.
I mean, if I didn't see him, I don't know if I ever would have probably gotten started in comedy. So,
right.
That's I think a good tribute to him is just say, hey, thanks for helping me get started, because when I saw you perform, it made me have like some of the best laughs that I've ever had. And
right.
Not that I ever got to meet him, which would have been awesome, but still, like I think, you know, his legacy lives on because I listened to probably at least a couple sets of his every week or so, just to kind of remind myself, like,
yeah,
you know, you could potentially someday make it big, but probably not going to happen. But, you know, don't not be inspired by someone that did something and, you know, just have fun with it.
Yeah, for sure.
What about you? What about you I guess we can go back and forth if we have different heroes and stuff too, but I guess comedy hero for you to start.
Well, when I was super little, and I say super little, I guess I wasn't super little, maybe like 9, 10-ish or so. Back when like Comedy Central actually had stand-up on it, and sometimes at night when you would fall asleep or something and you wake up with the TV on and there'd be clips and stuff like that. I always really liked Howie Mandel quite a bit.
Okay.
I mean, there was others too. I mean, if you even go back, like I've liked watching Andy Kaufman, like just because he was so
absurd and just
absurd. Yeah. And my dad used to always like Milton Berle, George Burns, all those guys. So I'd watch a lot of them. But I don't know. I think where I kind of started to relate to Howie a bit was when you know, he would do his Bobby character and stuff like, my name is Bobby, and I'm 2 + 2 + 2 years old. You know, that one?
Yeah.
And then they made the cartoon about it. I used to think that was so hilarious. Bob Nelson, too. I used to always really like Bob Nelson because his stuff was just quirky, too. Like, he would do this whole football routine where he would, like, puff up balloons and put them, like, as shoulder pads, and then he would try to... He's like, now introducing the starting lineup, you know, for whatever team, and he'd act like different characters and stuff like that. And he's actually my friend on Facebook too, which is crazy because I don't have a lot of, you know, like people that I grew up watching that are like my friends on Facebook and that. But I used to always like watch, like we recorded them on VHS, and I would just watch them over and over and laugh and laugh and laugh. But so it's kind of multiple people, but I know I think it kind of really started. I started to focus more, I think, with Howie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely other comics that
there's
have
plenty.
influence on me too, I guess. But to actually call one a hero, I mean, John Panette, I would say, makes sense for me. But I mean, just other, I guess, comic influences for me too. Always really liked John Mulaney.
Yep. Familiar.
However, I will say I did, and this isn't an excuse or a reason for him to, but I did like him before he went to rehab.
Oh.
Post rehab, I don't know, something just didn't click.
You liked him when he was
on drugs,
path,
I guess.
on a path of self-destruction?
Yeah.
You were awesome when you were on drugs, man.
I mean, I didn't know that he was on drugs at the time, but, like, hearing, he went to rehab, obviously it got worse and worse.
Oh,
but,
sure.
I remember before even doing stand-up, I saw him live in Milwaukee, and it was the funniest show I'd ever seen. Like, I felt like they probably had to change the upholstery on all the seats because everybody was peeing their pants laughing so hard. Like that feeling of the entire room erupting in laughter like that.
Right.
I haven't seen that for anybody yet since. Like, now doing stand-up, I haven't seen like that. Like, everyone is on the same page. They think this joke is the most hilarious thing that they've heard in recent times. So, like, I guess that's maybe, like, something to shoot for. But also, I didn't know that he was doing drugs or anything that could have been influencing that. He could have been clean. He could have not been.
Right.
But particularly for me, that show in Milwaukee was, like, huge for stand-up in my eyes.
Right.
And that probably influenced me to want to do it sometime, too. I also remember seeing Jim Gaffigan at the Pfizer Forum. That was the first show that they had there. And I don't know, like, I was impressed because he's a big name, but at the same time, too, there was just some things that didn't really click with me. And that was, like, the first time I'd seen a comic that I was like, ooh, I wasn't really a fan of that particular line of jokes, which was kind of weird because usually, like, I'm, like, go with everything kind of laughter, but just for some reason, there was, like, 15 minutes of jokes, so I was like,
Yeah.
I'm indifferent about this one.
Well, I think what happens for me now is I'll still laugh at stuff, and I enjoy comedy, but a lot of times when I'm watching it, people are you not having fun? I'm like, no, this is awesome. I'm having a great time.
Yeah.
Because I think I'm just studying.
Yeah.
Learning, watching mannerisms, watching stage presence, watching things, like, oh, wow, look at the energy they have, or look at how they
turn
move.
it on. Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
or even sometimes how they hold the mic. Like, I'll be watching certain people and how they hold the mic, and I'll just be like, wow, that's distracting the hell out of me. I'm going to try not to hold the mic like that, or stuff like that.
And that's the same with people of all levels, though. You might see someone that's like a complete novice, but for some reason they did something like how they stood or whatever, and you're like, that stood out to me in a good or a bad way, I guess.
Right.
But, like, especially if it's someone that hasn't really done it before and they do something that you're like, hey, that actually got a really good reaction for some reason. And then you try to think about why that is.
Yep. Yeah. Or I'll just be like, wow, did you see how they just linked that all together? And that was so creative. And wow, that was awesome writing.
Especially like those callbacks where they do a joke on the top of the set and then they end with calling back to that joke. So they were talking for an hour and somehow, one, it's good enough that people remember that that's something that they said, which is difficult. But then, two, it's like, wow, that's a long time to risk your final joke or whatever on hoping that people remember what you said at the beginning of the show.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And so I find that more times, like, and that even goes to, like, our peers and fellow comics, like, if I'm not laughing or not smiling, it doesn't mean I'm not having a great time.
Yeah, but sometimes people can't pick up that signal.
So I sometimes try to, I don't want to say force a laugh or whatever.
Yeah, ham it up.
I try to force a reaction sometimes just because I'm studying and I'm thinking in my head, like, wow, that was awesome. Or, no, that was bad. And I try, and so I'll have the same, like, persona, appearance, facial expressions, everything.
Very stoic. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the word. I'm often very stoic, and I'm just kind of like sitting here. Are you having a great time? No, this is terrible. And then, are you having a great time? Yeah, this is awesome.
I'm loving it. Yeah.
This is awesome. And you can't tell the difference. I used to get that at Christmas all the time, too. Like, I'd open up a gift. I'm like, I don't think Dean liked his gift. He opened it, and he's like, oh, thanks. Blah,
For
blah,
the
blah.
underpants.
And then, meanwhile, like, I'm like, that's crazy. You know,
I can't believe I got underpants.
yeah, on the inside, you know, but my body language a lot of times is just very. Should have played poker, maybe. I don't know. Like just nothing.
Yeah. I usually try to be very reactive though. So like, I guess the opposite of you is like, if I'm not reacting, then I didn't think it was very good, or I've heard it too many times. So next time you try something, change it up, do something new that you haven't done before. Because I'm very reactive on things, and I kind of have a loud, not super obnoxious, but a little bit obnoxious laugh. So you'll definitely hear me in the room if I find something really funny. And if you don't hear me, then it's not that you necessarily did anything wrong. It's just maybe I heard it before. Maybe it just wasn't the right twist this time, or how you said it this time didn't work out. So it's just something to think about.
Yeah, for sure. Did you have any other heroes growing up? Sports heroes, movie heroes,
Well,
TV shows, anything?
I was never really a sports guy, so
What?
not so much. Like, I mean, you know, playing mini golf. My heroes are my colleagues that I'm playing with. So, but that's more recent for me. So that's the last decade.
Right.
Movies. I don't know. I guess I got into superheroes just like every kid.
Yeah,
I think mine first one was really like Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire. And that was when the first like Spider-Man video game came out, and I thought that was a super cool game.
Yeah, it was pretty like groundbreaking.
Yeah, I mean you could, it's pretty open world,
Yeah,
and the fact that like it seemed like the moves were like legitimate, like they worked how you planned them out in your head.
Yeah.
I guess like combos
or like
and
what
stuff.
Spider-Man would do.
Yeah, like you have the Spidey sense. So yeah, it was pretty cool, and it followed the movies, but then there was other characters and villains that weren't in there, and you're like, when are these guys showing up? When are they doing another movie or whatever?
Well, it's better than some of the like older like Atari Heroes games, like on Atari, or some of the Pioneer or Legacy type video game type things too. Like you could play a Spider-Man game, and he's sitting there and he's shooting out his little webs and punching and kicking, and that's about all he can do. And then all of a sudden you'll find another game made by the same company that'll be called like Punchin', Kickin', Shooty Man, and it's the same thing. The graphics are just changed.
Yeah, it's
you know
the
what
same
I mean?
skin and
Yeah.
emotions. But
Yeah.
I do want to say that this is just a weird thought I had now too. Is like Spider-Man was like my superhero guy, but I'm terrified of spiders. So that's kind of weird.
Oh,
Yeah, like I don't. Like
you never had one like let one try to bite you to see if you get like
No, didn't go that
superpowers?
far. Like I was afraid of spiders, so I don't know why he ended up being like my superhero guy. But yeah,
maybe he brought that fear to something you found comforting.
maybe.
Maybe.
I mean, I still afraid of spiders, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
I used to play a lot of baseball growing up, and so I always liked, Bo Jackson, Reggie Jackson.
Anybody with a Jackson.
Yeah, any player named Jackson, no. Mark McGuire, those guys. But my favorite was always Jose Canseco. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to like even think back to like what made me say, that's the guy. And I don't know what it was, honestly. But like when he used to play for the Athletics, the Oakland A's, and he would just smash the crap out of the ball, and he was the first 40-40 man, and all that sort of stuff. I always wanted to be Jose Canseco, and his number was 33, but I was always pudgy growing up, so the numbers were always based off the size. Yeah. So 33 never fit me, so I usually had to be like number 37 or.
Well, that's still pretty close.
It was close.
I thought you were going to say, like, for me, if I had that.
Number 99.
Yeah, I would have been 99 every time.
But then as things...
Just real quick, though, but now my jersey number is 100. That's what's on my jersey.
That is what's on your jersey. But as I grew up and, like, would follow Jose Canseco, for a while he couldn't do any wrong. like he was dating Madonna for a while, and there was some controversy with that. And then he got arrested or something because he had a Beretta, like the gun, in his car and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, whatever. You can't do no wrong. He's Jose Canseco. And anytime he played the Brewers, it always seemed near my birthday. My dad would get tickets and we'd go watch and that sort of thing. And then as he was starting to get traded to teams, whatever team he got traded to became my favorite team. So
you followed the player, not the team.
Yeah,
so
for
cool.
sure. But then there was a steroids thing, which I was just like, okay.
Well, maybe he made a little mistake.
Maybe,
I like wrestling, so
wrestlers,
maybe they use steroids.
whatever,
Yeah.
okay. It's Jose Canseco. And then the ball bouncing off his head, and when he was playing in the outfield to make a home run, I was just like, okay.
Everybody makes
That
mistakes.
was just as embarrassing for him as I think it was for me, but that's okay. And then, I don't know, he retired after a while. He was on multiple teams. He was on the Yankees for a while, if I recall. He was on the Red Sox for a while. And I don't know. I always, emulated how he batted and everything like that, too. But then he tried kickboxing.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. That was so bad. So bad. And it was when I was doing MMA and cage fighting, too.
Well, that's what I thought. I thought that was, you're like, oh, well, he's doing it. I guess I better give it a shot.
No.
No, you
I
were
did
doing
it.
it first?
I was.
Oh, maybe he was inspired you by
Yeah,
you.
he probably was. That was it. He's like, hey, the little fat kid that wore number 37 that loved me. I'm gonna be that guy. I'm gonna go fight too. His matches were just so bad, and they always made total media and everything. There was always a following by him. He was always at big events right away, and then it was just so bad. I did like him though again when he was on that VH1 show. I think it was on VH1. Damn, what was that show called? I can't remember what it was called, but it was always they'd have
Look it up, I suppose.
it was like celebrities would all live together. It wasn't the real world, but it was like the real world with celebrities. And he actually had a brother, a twin brother named Ozzy Canseco. And on that show, they had some sort of baseball thing, like a baseball challenge, and he was out there in an athletics uniform, dressed up like Jose Canseco, and they were like, what? That's, he looks just like you. He even blinks like you. He does everything like you. And then at the end, he's like, this is my twin brother, Ozzy, because most people didn't know he had a twin brother, who also played
Major
League.
League.
Yeah, they were on the athletics together for a while.
Huh.
I have, it might even be in here, I have a whole baseball card thing that it's just Jose Canseco, and it has all of his cards in it, and it's full. I would make stupid trades.
Just to have it.
Yeah, they'd be like, hey, is that a Michael Jordan rookie card you have? Yeah. I'll give you this everyday Jose Canseco card. Okay.
Hey, you like what you like.
Well, yeah, and then people would be like, whoa, this card is worth $500 already. And then I'd be like, but this Jose Canseco one is invaluable to me.
As it drops
I even
down.
had a Jose Canseco bat. And even in the Ninja Turtles, when Casey Jones hits Raphael and he catches it or whatever, and he's like, Jose Canseco bat, don't tell me you paid for this. So I was big in the Jose Canseco. My sister used to make fun of me and call him Jose Can Strike Out.
Jeez.
I know.
Shout out to your sister.
Yeah.
We're not even going to mention her name.
No.
She knows who she is.
Yeah, she'll know because she listens. I see her share. Okay, fine. Her name's Dorothy.
Hi, Dorothy.
She shares the...
Be nicer to Dean.
No, she's super nice. Super nice to me now.
Now, take back what happened.
You said about Canseco.
Yeah,
take it back. Take it back. And when you post the next episode and you share it, be like... I mean, you can write Jose Can Strike Out. I don't know. It's kind of funny.
But speaking of shout-outs, I think we should give out a shout-out to one of our bookers from a show that we both just did, Jason Pringle. Hey, buddy.
Hey,
Bad
not
Credit
related to the chip.
Yeah, not related to Chip at all.
He
as far
doesn't.
as we know.
Well, I was going to say he doesn't look like the guy in the can, but he used to have a mustache
kinda
that was
did,
pretty
but-
close.
But just wanted to shout out Jason just because he put on a show.
For charity, for Toys
charity,
for Tots.
Toys for
There were
Tots. And
so many toys.
yeah, it was 118 toys donated for that show.
Wow.
and the toys were the admission to get in. So
Right. And that room was packed.
yeah, so I
It
was
was a pretty nice little place, too.
Yeah.
They had like a nice little balcony.
Stringtown Barbecue
yeah.
in Washburn, Illinois. Shout out to them too.
Yeah, great stage. I
Yeah.
love their stage.
Yeah, and people were engaged and had fun. So, like I said to the guys in the chat, I was like, this is probably one of my favorite shows that I've done this year. So
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was
yeah,
fun.
yeah, definitely do that
Absolutely,
kind of thing.
yeah.
And that concept is like taking off too, I guess, because I mean, I hadn't seen anybody do like a Toys for Tots comedy show before with the
Right.
Toy for Admission. And now another shout out, Jessica Phillips in the UP.
Yep.
They're doing a Toys for Tots show in December as well.
She plans to be a future guest at
Yep,
some point.
Yep, she's going to be on the show soon. But yeah, she saw Jason's poster from us posting about doing the show, and then she said, "Oh, that's a great idea."
Well, and a lot of the toys were really nice toys, too.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like somebody just went out and bought a whistle.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think they do vet it a little bit, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
no, they were great. I mean, all those toys would be fun to play with. I'd probably still play with those today myself. So
Yeah, there was a lot of really cool toys. Like, yeah, that's awesome for all those kids, you know, that are going to get those things on Christmas or whatever. And
yeah, I've always liked Toys for Tots just because that was just a charity that I got involved with early on in my career, and thought that was great because I think every kid should have something for Christmas to play with.
yeah,
And, appreciate that. So,
yeah, for sure.
yeah, so just want to give that shout out to Jason. So, thanks, buddy. So, you were telling me the other day that you were bartering.
With a raven.
Yeah, with a raven.
Yeah.
Not a person named
No,
Raven.
no, a
an
raven.
actual raven.
A raven.
And I feel like this is a story that people need to hear about.
Yeah. Well, ravens, I've always liked them. They're part of like my heritage, Nordic, Viking, that type deal. And so they've always been really important in that whole.
Symbolic as well as like physically in the environment.
Yeah,
when
and
you see
they're
them.
super smart. And so one day, I was walking out of work, and was this raven, like for days, sitting on the light post, and he just watched me walk as I was walking by. And sometimes he'd make a noise or something, and I'd be like, "Hey, buddy."
Hey, Dean.
And he's like, "My name is Carl." That's actually, did you ever read Deep Thoughts by Jack Handy? At Saturday Night Live, they would always have Deep Thoughts by Jack Handy. And in his book, he would have all these different like things. And they were funny on Saturday Night Live because he would say them in they're almost like those motivational posters, but, and he would just say things like, "I'm sure glad dogs don't ride on the space shuttle because their faces would burn up on re-entry," or whatever. But it was more like that. But there was one where he was like, "The crows were really calling his name today," thought Caw. But anyways, those are crows, not ravens. They're a little bit different. Ravens are bigger and smarter. So anyways, this raven, he would be there, and he was kind of watching me for a couple of days. So I actually had in my car, and I wonder who left it there, but there was a Stewart's Grape bottle cap on the floor of my car.
Hey, hold on. It could have been me. Could have been you. It could have been your son. I did give him a 4-pack. It's probably mine.
It's probably yours.
It's probably mine.
So anyways, I had seen, that you can barter with them. Like you can leave something for them, and sometimes they'll take it and they'll bring you something back. And so I was like, all right, I'm going to try it. So I was like, "Hey, buddy." And he kind of turned and looked. You know how birds look, though? They look at you with like one eye.
Yeah.
Like from the side. I'm doing it right now, but you can't tell. So he was kind of doing that, and I was like, "You see me. I see you see me." And I held it up, and I'm like, "This is for you." And I set it at the base of the lamppost. Then I kind of just like went off in the corner of the parking lot, and he was watching me the whole time. And then as I started to drive away, I saw him fly down there. And I was just like, "Oh, no kidding. He's really doing it." And I went back the next day, and it was gone. The bottle cap was gone. And so I was like, "He took my bottle cap. He didn't bring me nothing." All of a sudden, I didn't see him for weeks. And then right where I left the bottle cap, he was up on that post, and he was up there looking at me. And he started doing like, their normal noise they make. But then he did like a clicking, like. And then I was just like, okay. And then I didn't notice it at first, and I left. And then the next day, he was still there. And then I was like, what is that? And I have it in my car. but he left a little tiny, like neon green ceramic duck where I left the
bottle cap.
Yeah, and it was in, somebody might be like, oh, somebody could have put it there or whatever. It was dirty. It was scratched up. It had like feathers and like, nest type stuff stuck to it. So I think he had it stuffed in a nest somewhere. And he went and got it and he brought it back and like, here you go, buddy.
His best duck for you.
He gave me a duck, a little tiny duck. And it's like a small one. It's not like a rubber duck. It's like
Right.
it's like really small.
Yeah, so it was his best duck for you. He said,
Yeah.
thank you so much for the bottle cap.
Yep.
Here's a duck.
Here's a duck. Maybe he made the duck out of the bottle cap. Maybe he's a smithy.
That'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah. And he smithed it.
Smithed it.
Yeah.
I had a pet squirrel in college, kind of. Every time I'd go by the science building, I'd go, and he'd come up to me, and I named him Maurice.
Oh.
And people were like, you don't have a pet squirrel, but he would follow me. It was cool.
Right?
And it's been years now. I don't think he's around anymore.
Probably not. I honestly haven't seen this raven since. At least I don't think so.
Well, should I get you some more bottle caps?
Maybe. I don't know.
Or do you think maybe he's from Fallout? Currency in that is bottle caps.
Oh, maybe that's what took him so long to get back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I see ravens a lot, but I'm also like looking for them.
Every time you're like, man, I never see any red cars around. And then as soon as you say that, then all you see are red cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I see them around all the time. I usually greet them. I usually be like,
Red cars?
Yeah, red cars. I'll be like, hey, red car. No, ravens.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, they were like, when I have a raven tattoo, like in my armpit.
Oh.
It's not really in my armpit. It's just a big one on the inside of my arm that goes from like my elbow all the way
to your armpit.
into my armpit.
Does the butt line up with the armpit?
No,
No.
that wouldn't do nothing.
Oh.
It'd be funnier if it lined up with like a belly button or something. But that's just a tattoo that has like the raven's on a skull and there's like an axe in there. It's just a bunch of different
Viking
symbolism.
stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
pretty
yeah,
cool.
it's got some the axe is a Viking axe, and that's part of tribute to axe throwing. We can talk about tattoos some other time, but I could always talk about. I've got several, and I don't just get a tattoo because tattoo. I think them out. I work with the artist and make something that has meaning.
Yeah, I don't have any tattoos, but yeah, I can't. I haven't really thought of anything that has like that meaning that I would want to have forever. Well, I guess you don't have to have them forever
Not
now
anymore.
but
it hurts to get them removed.
yeah, that too. But
Yeah.
yeah, I haven't really thought of what that would be if I was to get something yet. So
Huh.
I'll have to think about it maybe for another episode. Maybe I
Get
can
like a
come up with an idea.
gravy boat.
I do love gravy.
I know you do.
And gravy comes in boats, and that's the best vessel then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Now you're getting me to think about Thanksgiving.
Oh. Yeah, because that's
Next
coming
week.
up. Yeah, it's next week.
So
Jeez.
I know
Not
time's
ready.
flying back. Flying by. Yeah. Like a raven.
Yeah, like a raven with a bottle cap.
Yeah.
I hope somewhere somebody has a story like, I saw this raven with a bottle cap. And then, like, I hope there's, like, a whole story. Like, he traded somebody something for the bottle cap, and then something, like, he had to
That's
keep
how he got the duck.
That's how he, and then he
Yeah.
ended up with the duck eventually.
Like, what if he had, like, a winning lottery ticket for millions of dollars, and that's what he traded. Like, it was
for a duck?
Yeah, it was a scratcher ticket, right? And someone had to do, traded something with some other animal to get that duck, and it just went down the line, and now that person's like a multimillionaire, and you have his best duck, which I think you're the winner if that's the
I think
case.
so, too. I hope he didn't kill for the duck, though, or do anything bad. Like, bad.
I think you're gonna have to write him a letter
Yeah.
and just
Now watch, he's going to show up tomorrow, and he's just going to be there looking at me with a side eye like that.
I think you should write him a little note
Yeah.
and then just see if he takes it and see if he gives it to someone and they read that note. Like if you found this note and then
This was from my raven.
yeah, or and
Please
have,
call-
have the QR code to the Dean Berg comedy page or move the mic
My
stand
link tree.
back.
I'll just be like, if you find this, call Cash Money Karl.
We're not putting one of my bills in that bird's nest. He's not gonna be too happy.
Darn it. So what else should we talk about that's interesting? What else? I don't know. I don't think ravens really are. They're smart, but I don't know if there's any conspiracies. Have you heard any good conspiracies lately or anything?
No? What about you?
The only one I saw recently online was, I don't even know that it was a conspiracy, as more of like an observation, that like throughout the years, people always thank Beyonce whenever they win an award. Like super famous people, they always thank Beyonce, even if it's not like
Related to...
I mean, yeah,
it has to be somewhat related, but...
Well, like somebody could win like an Oscar or something. I want to thank Beyonce. And so it's like, does Beyonce hold some magical key to fame or something, or being super successful? Because I think that's why when Taylor Swift won that award all those years ago, and then Kanye was like, wait, we got to talk about Beyonce. Maybe if you don't thank Beyonce, you lose your fame, or you go on a downward spiral.
Could be.
Yeah, there wasn't a good explanation for it. It was just like, why do all these famous people talked about like Adele winning an award and she thanked Beyonce? And it was like, okay, well, maybe they're friends, or, whatever. But I would just like to thank Beyonce for this
Yeah, I was
podcast.
gonna say, thanks, Beyonce.
Thank you, Beyonce, for this podcast. Thank you. This couldn't be possible without you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
And speaking of thanking people that this wouldn't be possible without them.
Our sponsor.
Yeah. So The Hive in Fond du Lac, which we're having the Live from the Hive Comedy Showcase next Friday. So Black Friday, 8 o'clock. Tickets are only $10, whether you get them online or at the door. We got a great lineup of comics from all over the U.S. Midwest. But
Midwest. Yeah, everybody's from the Mid. Well,
yeah,
everybody's from the Midwest. We didn't get anybody from Australia this time or anything.
Yeah, our headliner is John Egan.
Yep.
He runs a lot of the Roast for Santa Claus, so that's kind of I guess one of his things.
Yep.
So
I like his beef with Chris Jackie.
Yeah.
He's got beef with Chris Jackie right
He's
now.
trying to get koozies made with a good phrase on it. Yours, I think, came out pretty well. I can't remember. It was
Well, I don't want to say it because then if he puts it on there, I don't. That's all his. It's not me.
Oh yeah, you don't want to take royalties from
nope,
him.
It's all his. It's all his. But no, that was kind of fun. That thing went viral. I mean, people maybe, if you've seen anything in publication online or whatever about a comedian that's got beef with Chris Jackie, the former Packers kicker, Hall of Fame. He's Hall of Fame? Yeah, Hall of Fame kicker. Check it out. That's him. That's our headliner for our show for Live at the Hive and Black Friday.
Right, yep. And we also got on the lineup. Well, Dean and I will be hosting, so we'll just do a little bit.
Just kind of say hi.
Give a little taste. That's all.
I mean, everybody here has seen us so much, and even if we write new stuff, they're kind of like, it's always these guys.
Yeah. We got Jessica Phillips, who we mentioned earlier from the UP, so she'll be down.
Yep.
She'll be doing an episode with us that day.
Yep.
We got Jimmy P,
Jimmy P.
Big dude, and he's got a great material about one of the most well-known cryptids out there, so that's good.
Yep, we won't spoil it, though, but it's kind of obvious. It could be one of three, because there's three probably most popular ones.
There's more than that. I would say there's probably...
Well, there's a lot of them, but...
there's probably like 10 that are pretty popular, which we should probably do an episode on.
Yeah, but we're not talking about, like, the mushroom dangle.
Right.
Cryptid.
Yeah.
Because that's not real. I made that up right now. That's
no,
not
you
real.
didn't.
Yes, I did. What would be a mushroom dangle?
It would be a guy that's dangling mushrooms and he's got like a trench coat and he opens up and he's like, hey, you want to buy a mushroom?
You like my mushroom?
Yeah. See, he's real. We just because we mentioned him now, he is real.
He's probably watching in the window right now.
He's probably his.
With his mushrooms.
Also, we got Marshall Lother from Milwaukee.
Yep.
And we got another local guy for Fond du Lac, Eric Weeks.
Yep, Eric Weeks. Yeah. I've been... done a couple shows with Eric. We did one at the Thelma with him, and others. And
for the Sturgeon Spectacular.
Yeah, and I've just really been liking. I've been liking his approach to comedy, and he's he's done it in the past, and that sort of thing. He's done a lot of local stuff, and
he's trying to go.
He's trying to
go a little bit more serious with it.
Yeah, he's going more serious and expanding, and he's got a passion for it, and I've seen a lot of growth in him in the last couple of times that I've gone with him. He was on a couple shows with me and Rob Brackenridge, and that sort of thing. So, he'll be on there too. Yep.
Yeah, so it's a solid lineup. We're looking forward to it.
Yep.
Something to do after you're done shopping for everybody for Christmas.
Yeah.
So,
Come on down to the Hive and
yeah. Have some drinks, have some fun, have some laughs, and
yep.
yeah.
And then to get tickets,
You can either get them at the door. We take cash or card, or you can go to cashmoneycomedy.com, and there's a link for tickets there.
on Eventbrite, right?
Yep.
Or is it something else? Yeah.
Or Ticket Leap. Yeah.
Or Ticket Leap, sorry. Yeah, Ticket Leap.
Yeah. All right. Well, that sounds good. I think we're going to call it a week for us. So.
Yeah, I think that's good for today. I think we had a lot of great discussion and
Yeah.
a lot of fun.
So we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in.
Yep, see ya. Bye.
Bye.
That's it for today, but hold tight. We'll be back soon with more laughs inside. Move the mic stand, we're ready to go. Dean and Cash bring the comedy flow. With every tale, we're spreading joy wide. So come take a seat, join the fun ride.
This has been a Tapedeck Media production. Thank you for listening.